content is for informational and educational purposes only. You should not construe any such information or other material as legal, tax, investment, financial, or other advice. Nothing contained here constitutes a solicitation, recommendation, endorsement, or offer to buy or sell any securities or other financial instruments whatsoever by Draper Goren Blockchain, aka DGB, the presenter, or other associated parties for the content being provided. Please do your own due diligence and seek proper counsel.
What's up? Boom. Okay, it is live. I went into the other tab. I saw that Pravi, our good friend Praveen, was retweeted it. So I DM'd him the link to join us up on stage if he would like to hop in.
Oh, cool.
We also have an invite out to our good friend Kevin, the Tezos master. So we'll see if we get an update on that community and all that fun stuff. But what's up, David?
Not much. The merch of the day
in the house.
The new company shirt there. So we had a fun time this weekend. We all met together as a team.
IRL.
I think we partied just as hard as we worked. It was pretty good times. And
there's Pravi. It was awesome hanging out with the crew in real life. We have so many things in the works, and so for everyone to be in the same room together and go out to dinner together, go bowling together, have a drink together. It was or two. It was fun.
I won the first bowling match. Thank you.
You did good, but then Blesnak joined us, and he actually knew how to bowl. And then, you know, what's funny is saying this out loud now, I didn't say this to anyone, but like flew home the next day. And then the morning after that, I woke up and I was like, I'm sore. Like I worked out or something. I'm like, what did I do? That's like my muscles are sore, like my abs, like I got to work out. And I was so confused for the longest time. And then I was like, oh yeah, we went bowling. And then my immediate thought was like, am I so old that going bowling makes me really sore and like feel it? And I guess I am. So that's cool too.
It was a pretty cool experience. It was a cool retro bowling alley too.
It was cool. It was like an old school Brunswick, that Bolero, apparently. Like they bought a bunch of them, fixed them all up, and it was like an old school bowling alley that was pretty, fixed up and nice, but like old school. And then everyone was mad that we didn't go to like the more crazy modern bowling alley place that was in town that I didn't even know existed because, we just went Google mapped it.
I think our designer appreciated it though.
I appreciated it. It was pretty rad.
It was pretty cool.
You know what? We would have gone to like a different bowling alley and ended up playing like in the arcade or something and not actually gone bowling or something. So I'm glad we did it. Everyone, there's a bunch of people listening and watching and all that stuff. I always forget to do this. Hold on. Let's see. Where's the little dingleberry? Follow us on all the places at DGB Ventures, or just go to dgb.vc and connect with us. This is streaming on YouTube, on my LinkedIn, and on my Twitter. But soon we'll probably move it over to its own dedicated accounts or to the DGB accounts. If you are watching right now, and tell us in the chat and stuff where you are. Pravi, I already told Pravi, I said it at the beginning. I DM'd you the link. So if you want to join us up on stage, if you have a company, an idea you want to pitch us, something you want to tell us, you have any insight into any recent crypto thingies that's going on in the world, let's hop into the chat, talk to us about it. And maybe we'll bring you up on stage too.
Pravi probably has a haircut to show us, be my guess.
Yeah, that would be cool.
He's got some crazy haircuts.
So here's how rad this guy is. He's early into VR and AR stuff. He's an early crypto dude. He's done all sorts of fun stuff and was part of the blockchain center in Miami and all that. I think the last time he told us he's in Vegas. He's been all over the place, but he always does a weird like haircut for conferences that has like a QR code in his hair you can scan or something rad like that. I think one of the times you could get like a PO-op by scanning his head or something like that, like an NFT. So we got to see with him what's new and what's up. But Rankin, you said you were seeing stuff about Celsius. Do you get any info on that, or just anybody?
I didn't. I haven't yet. I had a buddy reach out to me this morning and said, I guess, what are his exact words? Let's see. He was saying that basically that sounds like Celsius was paying out finally. That's exactly what he said. Celsius is paying out. And unfortunately, I told him I was never in it.
I wonder what that means, because I heard from some people you could get something earlier, or maybe it was just you claimed. So yeah. It's actually, that means the money is actually coming. Maybe
this guy is just letting everybody know. And I said, dude, I DeFi only, bro. So hopefully some people learn. And my suggestion is get off exchanges. But
probably smart.
We don't get financial advice on here. So
yeah. Okay. I know somebody else has some stuff at Celsius, but I'll message them and try to get some info for the next one.
Well, I hope the best. I hope the best.
Yeah. You know what? You just reminded me this morning, because we were joking. So I was saying my problem with all this Celsius stuff, I mean, there's lots and lots of problems, but without going too deep into all the different things, one of the things that really makes me, like, one thing that makes me crazy mad all the time is waste, right? And the paper we receive in the actual mail. And I think I had in Celsius, I maybe had under $5, maybe under $10 at most, right? Of a little dust of some reward from after I withdrew, or Tezos, some small amount, but basically just a bunch of dust from testing it out and playing with it and doing all that, right? And I got packets in the mail where the shipping on each packet was probably worth more, or cost more than how much I was owed from Celsius, right? And how much money was wasted in the lawyers and the shipping of papers and all of the stuff to make this happen and finally distribute the funds. Just imagine if that money was back in the hands of the people who got their money frozen and taken from them, right? It's so messed up. And on top of it, it's just a huge waste, because how many people actually read those docs? Maybe the top 1% who had a lot of money, but you think about there must have been thousands of people just like me who had under $10 there, who experimented with it or tested out the app one time and had to be sent all that junk.
Well, had they been in DeFi, they could have probably just dropped the docs to their wallet addresses.
It's true. Well, had they been in DeFi, somebody could have done some kind of flash crash and they could have lost all their money. I'm just gonna mess with you now, but I agree with you.
So
had they been in DeFi, there'd be no legal docs to be had.
Liquidity pools to solve problems like that.
Exactly. No,
you do flash crash and then just collect me more fees. So that's all good.
We did have, there was a few people in our crew this last week that we hung out with that were not crypto people. You convert anybody? I know it's your favorite thing.
Well, no, we did find out that person did have some Litecoin, so they weren't crypto virgin as much as I thought.
So here, the funny thing. So I actually, I've met a bunch of people from the Litecoin Foundation, and they're there's a lot of people actually building legit things, and then there's even people who will stand up for Bitcoin Cash stuff. I don't have as much experience with the Bitcoin Cash people, other than most of it seems like a lot of made up BS. But I've had lots of friends in previous markets call me up and be like, bro, I went online, I read it. Bitcoin Cash is faster and it's cheaper than Bitcoin. And in their minds, they're like, I could buy 2 Bitcoin Cash and I can buy, 1/10 of a Bitcoin. What should I do? Or probably 10 Bitcoin Cash and 1/10 of Bitcoin. I have no idea what the prices are today of Bitcoin Cash. But the memes and the crappy marketing works, right? And so there's probably a lot of people who hold, Bitcoin Cash or Litecoin or some of those top tokens. Remember how XRP, people were talking about the genius part of XRP when they first launched was launching it at such an extremely low price to make everyone, there's a psychology behind making people feel like they could own more of something, like bigger number, right? It's like saying, I've got 20,000, Argentinian pesos or something, or $1,000. Which one would you rather have? $1,000 American dollars are worth, I don't know the conversion rate anymore or anything, but it's significantly more.
Yeah.
But there is something to it. Like I could own $30,000 or one Bitcoin. Which one would you choose?
Number bias. Well, no, the problem is you got to remember. So in that case, you start talking sats and be like, you do realize there's 100 million sats per Bitcoin.
How many times has
sats?
Okay, my mom knows nothing about crypto, right?
Yeah.
Zero. All she knows about crypto is that her son is in it, whatever that means, right? And sometimes on the Israeli news channel, she's watching it because she likes to watch her news in Hebrew because that's where she was born. And she'll hear something about Bitcoin. And she still, even when they talk about it, she's like, is that good or bad? And so she'll call me, or I'll have breakfast with her and she'll go, is the thing with Bitcoin good or bad? And then she'll ask me, right? And then she'll literally pull out her phone sometimes and she'll go, look at Bitcoin. And all she knows is number went up. But the reason I'm bringing this up is if I said, yeah, I got myself another 1,000 sats this week, she'd be like, what the hell are you talking about? She hears it on the news. People talk about it all the time, even people who have no idea what it is, right? Like our parents and our friends' parents and our friends who have nothing to do with technology or crypto in their day-to-day life. They watch TV and Bitcoin is brought up whenever financial news is brought up. They've never heard the word sat. They might have heard Satoshi as the butt of some joke, like that's the guy who founded it. He's this or that or whatever. Craig Wright. I'm just kidding. But they've never heard the word sat. Like people would have there would be better chance of of CNN starting to use the term like, ooh, you could earn 12 mini bits or something, or like bits. Oh yeah. How many Satoshis equal one Bitcoin? 10,000 or is it a million? 100,000?
100 million Satoshis.
Oh, 100 million. So see, I'm in the space all this time. I still don't even remember off the top of my head. I just think it's like, decimal places. But if you said, hey, you know what? We're not going with the Satoshi BS. We're going to call it, Bitcoin cents or bits, 100 bits equals a Bitcoin. I bet you it would have better adoption, or we just have to fast forward 5 years or 10 years, but nobody knows what a Satoshi is. Nobody knows what a sat is.
Yeah. Well, eventually we'll get to the point where people talk in Satoshis instead of Bitcoin. And I think it's going to be a rebranding point at the thing. I mean,
I got offered a job. They're willing to pay me 100,000 Satoshis a month for my job. That would be the holy grail, right? Like we start talking about it like that, like your job, not even just,
The moment we stop seeing volatility, absolutely, you can convert my salary over.
Yeah, but see, that's the issue. You know what? Okay, here's the thought. Without giving up any details, right? We're starting the new company. We're figuring out payroll solutions and all this stuff, and getting all our benefits and all the stuff together, right? We're not specifically using, although maybe we need to talk to we need to get Brian Harrington on here, his Bitcoin bank account stuff he wants to launch, and we'll talk to him about that one of these episodes. No affiliation with us other than we like the dude. He's a cool guy. Maybe we'll do a deal, try to own a piece of it. We'll see. I've already tried, didn't work out the first round, but you can lose the battle and still win the war. Brian's watching this going, let's do a deal. But we're not using any special crypto bank or anything. In fact, I think we have problems with our bank because the word blockchain exists in our name. But regardless of that, whatever system we use, you could choose to have, a percentage of your paycheck go into, a 401k. Actually, that's something we got to probably figure out and set up too if we want. Do we want to do that? I don't know.
Well, I mean, right now, like,
companies with like 2.5 employees set up 401ks.
No, actually, it's a requirement in California.
So there we go. We're going to be setting up that. Now you'll have a choice, right? You get 100% of your paycheck go to your bank account, or you can take
the nice thing is now you have, even though you don't actually get Bitcoin exposure, you get price exposure, but they have the Bitcoin ETFs.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about the ETF. I was just thinking of Coinbase Coinbase will give you like a bank account and routing number to put on your paycheck stuff, so that you can, if you want to take 5% of your paycheck and instantly buy Bitcoin with it. You can do that using Coinbase. So what I was going to ask you is, I'm
already earning Bitcoin every week, so I'm all good.
You're already good, but that's what I was going to ask you, right? Like, we live off of our paychecks, and every little extra bit of everything goes into crypto.
I don't see my paycheck; it goes straight to my wife. I mean, like,
smart man.
That's what I mean.
Smart man.
I get to keep the crypto; she gets all the money. It's a fair trade-off.
One day when it flips the other way, we'll know when Bitcoin is finally accepted by the mainstream, right?
No, so my wife is actually a Bitcoin maxi.
Yeah.
Let it be known.
You know what? Yeah. My wife, every once in a while, my wife goes, "Wait, why didn't we buy more Ethereum when you were telling me about that thing?" And I said, "Buy more Ethereum." And I go, "Because it's literally like all of our life is crypto, like all of our net worth." But I don't spend, it's a funny thing. So that's why I was asking you, will you take a percentage of your paycheck in crypto, or you're already all in and all of your stuff is in crypto and you're already earning Bitcoin through the different programs and things?
Yeah. I don't say things publicly, but I'm okay. I have enough of my portfolio in crypto.
I'm not talking about dollar wise and the dollar amounts, right? I can very clearly say,
I have stocks, real estate, crypto, and I believe in a good, healthy diversification. I'm probably more crypto.
I believe in healthy diversification, but what you believe in and what you do are very different things. And I pretty much own a condo. I'm extremely frugal.
Yep.
Everything I have is in, I would say 90% of the value that I have of my net worth is in startups that are in the crypto space. Zero liquidity.
That's even
and then
riskier.
I've got some Bitcoin.
That's even riskier. That's even riskier.
I know, but that's I'm the type of person that what I say and what I do is very different. I'm not like risky. Like, I will always tell my friends and family, like, I don't tell them to buy crypto or anything. I actually avoid those conversations in personal life, which is, I think, bad. I think I shouldn't be that way.
I pretty much do tell them you should be buying some Bitcoin.
No, I think I have some friends. Like, I have like some punk rock friends and people I grew up with who have shot me notes over the years and like, what should I do with Bitcoin? Should I get some Bitcoin? And I don't ever talk to them about it. I like avoid the conversation, but I will always 100% of the time, like when somebody goes like, I think I'm going to refinance so I can buy more crypto, or I'm going to put this on my credit card. I go, absolutely not. You're an idiot. I've never done anything like that, but I have like I'm also a crazy person that has zero debt too.
So don't take this as financial advice, but what I typically tell people to do is, if you're getting into crypto, or you're interested in crypto at all, figure out how much money you're willing to lose. All right. Just pretend that you're.
This reminds me of the conversation you have with friends before you go to Vegas.
Right. But it's like, yeah, exactly. Just like, if you're going to go to Vegas, know how much money you're willing to spend and lose. Right.
And then only bring that.
And only bring that to the table. And then take 10% of that and buy Bitcoin right now at this price, at whatever it is. Just so that way you have exposure. Because as soon as you have that exposure and you're in the game, you're going to pay attention to your cards or your game.
That's true. That's why I did the thing with my family. The one thing I did with my family, and it was early on, was one Christmas and Hanukkah. We celebrate both in my family on both sides and stuff. I bought everybody $20 worth of Bitcoin on slips of paper. I actually gave them slips of paper with the handwritten private key on it, because my printer was broken at the office. But it was like this cryptic, weird, funny thing. And I gave it to all my nieces and nephews and my and my everyone, like the parents and everything. My parents still have that same slip of paper. Somebody could get, it's probably worth $40 now, worth of Bitcoin, I think is on their fridge at their house. But it was a funny thing. But the reason I did that is because now you'll pay attention. Now you'll see why'd it go up, why'd it go down, why'd it go this, and you'll get your own conclusion. Krabby just joined.
And then the next step I say on there is if you see dips and pullbacks, add a little bit more to your position. That's it. And if you hold it for more than 4 years, you're probably
zoomed out. It's blocking my face here. I got to turn off this thing, or do I zoom in?
Morning, Pravy. How's it going?
Hey, what's up, guys?
All right, so do you have a fancy haircut right now? Do you have a fancy haircut shaved in your head?
Yeah, well, it's growing back out, but I DM'd Alon on Twitter or on X.
Let's see if I can.
With Apple Vision Pro.
Oh, dang. Hold on. Can I do that Apple haircut? Okay, hold on. How can I? Actually, I can do this. The haircut I can easily bring on. I'm going to download it. Hold on. And I'll share it with everyone.
Yeah, the thing about it is, like, you got to get your hair close cropped, and so it grows out pretty quick. So you got, a lot of times it's 1 or 2 weeks.
I was bummed. We tried to go get the Apple Vision Pro, and I have an old SE phone, and it doesn't do the facial recognition, and so therefore they would not let me get an Apple Vision Pro. I was kind of
that's like a pleb story you got to put in your Bitcoin book someday.
I know. I was bummed.
Fight the power, man.
I may have to stick with the Oculus.
I got the little DGB thing over there. You stick with the Oculus, or are you gonna get a new phone?
I'm too cheap.
You're gonna choose to not get the new phone?
No, I could if I could not spend sats or not spend money. Like, yeah, I'm sorry. My phone works fine.
I'm with you. Wait, so when you do the Apple Vision Pro thing, how many different versions do they have for face shapes and stuff like that?
A lot. There was a lot of different opportunities. Like 90% of people fall in a certain range, but yeah, there's all these other ones. The problem is I don't know how dependent it is. Like, does it actually require this for more stuff, or is it just because of the fitting the size of your face? I'm like, that's really stupid. If they just need to fit my face, scan it with an iPad, and they should be able to figure out what I need. But I don't know. It sounded like there might have been some connection to the actual.
Actually, you'll like this one. I'm going to DM you. You're talking about NFT haircuts. We actually pitched this to the Baltimore Ravens at the Super Bowl when they came to Miami, and we're doing a Super Bowl pitch contest tomorrow with the NFL alumni at Vegas.
The Vegas. First, I'm going to show everyone your Apple Vision haircut.
Nice.
You went Apple haircut.
Yeah, see, they would have let you get a Vision Pro if you flashed that, David.
See, yeah, they would have been like, you know what you should have done? You should have been like, do you realize that I'm the host of the DGB show on Twitter every single week? And be like, I'm a huge influencer. You got to do this.
She insulted me and told me my phone's a brick.
Dude, like
I loved it.
I'm gonna post this on you still have the Blockchain Booze Telegram chat, so I posted it there last week as well.
Hold on, I want to show the Bitcoin haircut. I'm gonna see if I can share that tab really quick.
They didn't even have the size that we needed, right? So like the problem is every time I go to an Apple store, they never have the specs. They have like the base specs for everything, and I don't know who's buying all these base spec stuff. But whenever I go to like an Apple store, I want to max out whatever I'm buying, because obviously you can't replace the RAM or whatever later on.
That's been my problem with buying a new computer, though, because I keep going to buy a new computer, and then I go like I go ham on I go ape on the button, and then I'm like, am I really gonna buy like a $4,000 computer right now? And I think I am.
When I'm ready, I am.
Okay. Wait. Let's check out Captain Bitcoin. Do you guys hear the sound from it? Oh, it doesn't want to play.
No, not yet.
Why does it not want to play now? It was auto playing before. Now it doesn't want to play. Hold on, I'll refresh this page and see.
Pravy, how long do you keep these haircut styles when you get these?
Bitcoins. Bitcoin. I got Bitcoin. I spent 6,000 on a Bitcoin.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I made 100 racks off of Bitcoin.
How long do you keep that in your hair for?
Until it grows out. You know?
It grows out. Nice.
I mean, you see how close he's getting, right?
Yeah.
But
have you ever gone to do one and they screw it up? You know, like those funny tattoos where people show.
Yeah. Watch the next one. I sent you the NFT one. So it is a screw up, but it's a happy screw up because it's supposed to be NFT. So the NFT art is better because it doesn't look as it looks more original, even though it wasn't his intention. We were trying to make a monkey, right? Like your punk stuff.
Right. Yeah.
And he wound up making like some weird little King Kong thing. That was funny.
Oh, yeah. Not looking
you
good.
had a launch.
Hold on, I'm gonna switch it. I'm gonna bring it up in this window right now.
So Pravi, he was probably secretly a Kong's NFT holder.
It reminds me of it, that totally does remind me of when people get those tattoos, but this is less permanent, so way more fun. NFT barbershop. Did you mint an image of this?
Yeah, we did it for the pitch contest with the Baltimore Ravens and the so the NFL Players Association. They're trying to get players to invest in startups before, or actually even start a startup before they retire, before they become NFL alumni. So it's a thing. Like when they were in Miami, they even had like basically classes for NFL players on how to basically pitch and things as well. In this case, like the Baltimore Ravens had a separate like alumni association just for their team. So
yeah, why not? You got the clout for
yeah. So you see like so it looks like the nose is
more
way
like a
too
bear. It's more like a bear. You know what? What was the date of this? You may have ushered in the bear market by doing this.
That's ours, man.
Yeah, so that concept was called crypto cuts. But I mean, if you just scroll, like the concept itself is more metaversey. This is more like David Rankin's era, where you saw how Barber was eyeballing it. But there's a thing on let me say it's actually on Twitter.
Metaverse ain't dead. Everybody's calling it the Omniverse now, but I'm telling them the metaverse ain't dead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, it hasn't even begun. It hasn't even started.
No.
Yeah, so we used to get into Vegas gaming parties for CES and such by putting in like these video game characters in Donkey Kong. So here's what we pitched to the Baltimore Ravens and other NFL alumni. This is augmented reality haircuts.
Can you just share your screen?
I just sent it to you. You can just.
Okay, yeah, let's see.
I'm looking forward to it. I think we actually have another meeting today with a new metaverse. Looking forward to hearing more about it later today.
Yeah, so this might have been too early because this is 2019, but now with Vision Pro, literally like getting
Yeah, I was bummed. I'm really hoping that I don't have to have a stupid new phone in order to get the Vision Pro, because if that's the case, then I don't know.
Yeah, so our buddy from high school, he has a barber academy in Fort Lauderdale. So we were trying to call it the mixed reality barber academy, where they practice on the little those dummy heads and stuff with the fake hair. So in this case, they could like a flight simulator for pilots, right? You could get a bunch of sim hours in before you mess up someone's hair. So
using the Vision Pro?
No, this was the Magic Leap. But Vision Pro.
So here's
that's my friend from high school. So
So use the Magic Leap and it overlaid this image so that they shave it in.
Yeah, so you can see a video. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. But this is I think this is in 20. There's a video of us in the next. If you scroll down.
Yeah, I couldn't go to.
There it was right there. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it was just the next.
So how do they see that? Are they wearing a headset to see that on your head?
Well, when we filmed it, we couldn't figure out how to like record the video through the headset, but filming it wasn't through the headset, but we used doing it goes through the headset.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. So,
Dude, that's
so
going to
you-
be a thing. Actually, I didn't think about that, but that
AR
could be
goggles.
a total. That's a total use case for something like the Apple Vision Pro.
Well, but with the
And
Ray
you
Bans, the
can
Ray Bans, and
throw
maybe if
on,
you have an AR goggle.
Well,
you can
yeah,
wear-
but the thing is, you don't have great processing power. On a Vision Pro, you could have such good processing power that I could take an image, I could
Put it on your
overlay
head.
it on the back of your head, and it can self-adjust the thing. So if you move your head, whatever, and then I know exactly where to shave, what to do, or whatever, and you
Yeah.
can imagine that for. Think about how people use a projector to project something on a big
No, for
wall
sure.
and then
Project on
make
the
like
back
a
of your head.
mural, right? Now I map out the area wearing a thing, and I can come way close and know exactly what I need to paint up close. And then I look back and I go, ooh, this part paint here and this part paint. You could probably do some really cool, some really cool art that way where you
So now
about it.
So now the question is, are you going to trust the barber that's wearing a Vision Pro on their head while they cut your hair?
Yeah, that is.
We
a
just
good
saw
point.
pictures of how he allowed a barber to draw a picture of an ape that looked like a bear, right? I think
I
that
know.
most dudes would be in on that. If we had
Can you
like
just
super
imagine your
long
first
hair that
haircut
was-
like that though? When
What
they
was that?
can't see, you're like, can they really see you? Like, and just like taking a pair of scissors to your hair.
That's true. Yeah, I guess I would be more scared. Yeah, of being like nicked or something.
Let's
but
do
at
a
the same
test.
time-
I'll wear the Vision Pro. We can use your hair. We'll see how good a job I do.
All right, let's do it. Once I wear one and I trust it, I think most people will trust it pretty quick. I think it's more the people who wouldn't trust it are people who've spent like years growing their hair or something, right? Like I'm the wrong person to ask because every time I've been asked, you know how like sometimes the hairdresser will take out the mirror and be like, "Do you want to look at the back?" I always say no.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, dude, I'm always looking at
no,
that.
I trust you because what about? I don't know what I'm looking at, to be honest. Like I every time
I'm
I've
always
ever
looking
done
at
it
the
in the
curve.
past,
No, you can
I
round
look
that
at
a
it and
little
go,
more.
"Yeah, looks good," but I don't know what's cool and what's not, and I don't remember if I round the edge or I do it straight. I just go, "I trust you," you know. Now I go to like a real hairdresser, the same one every time. But growing up, I'd go to Fantastic Sam's or Supercuts, and I just say yes. Pravi, where are you? Are you back in Miami? Or
Yeah,
you-
I'm back here now, but I'm flying out to Vegas tonight for the our pitch contest tomorrow. We have the whole Super Bowl week coming up.
Look
Like
at that
actually, because we actually have our own like little VC thing going on here in Miami for the local NFT companies that raise money recently. It's been a few like on around between $5 and $10 million rounds for these new crypto startups in Miami. So we got to support the community in both cities. But then a lot of people actually were in LA, actually, your neck of the woods for the Grammys. So I'm not sure how many people are going to show up tomorrow for these things. They're still. But I was going to say, with these haircuts, it's also a health and safety thing because I've had some issues with because they're using razors sometimes on your hair to make these designs, and they get pretty deep. I'm like, it kind of hurt. I'm wondering how deep they're going, if they're going to scar you, and then also some other barbers are using some sort of chalk to make different colors and such. That might be a good use case of different types of artistry that you could employ. And
I wouldn't want them putting chalk and then cutting me with it. Like they're gonna give you a tattoo, or like what's that chalk made out of getting into your blood? I don't know. We had a whole talk about when we were together this last week, the whole crew. Somehow the talk got one of the guys brought up plastic bottles and they watched a thing, and I talked about how anti-plastic bottles I am and how much I don't like them. And then it went into this whole talk. Is similar vibe right there. It's crazy though. You're right. But will the Vision Pro make you better? They might make. It's like there's a lot of things that there's absolutely no argument, and anyone arguing doesn't have real data unless we're being fed fake data. But there's no doubt that every single car company that has self-driving cars is like orders of magnitude safer than human beings when their cars are driving themselves, right?
Well,
at least the production ones.
I'm waiting for the guy who's crossing the road and his Vision Pro goes out on him. While
That's
he's in the
insane. Those people
crosswalk.
are crazy
Hold on, and he doesn't realize he's wearing his Vision Pro.
because he's so immersed.
And he forgets to put it off, where he's like, "Oh my god, I can't see now. I can't see." And the simple thing all they need to do is lift up, but he forgets to lift up.
Yeah, but in the moment, right? In the moment too, it can be a split second because you're immersed. That's also a problem. Like I always thought, people who walk around with the big headphones on and stuff, but will cross streets and walk on the streets. That scares me because I'm like, a lot of times you'll hear a car, before you see it, or you'll hear something because it's coming from behind you. Right. If you're blasting music and you have, that kind of thing going, it's tough.
Yeah. So that's a good point with these cars and such, because, in the Bitcoin community, we have some famous cars. So we have the Bitcoin DeLorean. And we actually manage the Bitcoin Prius, the blockchain center folks. So we ship that between Miami and Vegas for events. And in fact, that's the link, Alon. We did a film set with Netflix with that Bitcoin Prius. It's the $48 million car. So we got this celebrity Hindu priest who's on Netflix Family Karma show to bless it, do the whole Hindu ceremony with the coconuts and the anyways. So we basically auctioned it off again at the last Bitcoin conference in Miami. And we had all the celebrity Bitcoiners sign it before the auction, whoever was in town.
Well, I'm going to share that screen in 1 second. Bitcoin Prius.
Yeah. So in this case, there's so much like celebrity footage. We can add that as a Vision Pro thing when you experience the Prius.
Well, I think in general, the big exciting thing about what I'm seeing with all of that is it's crazy. There's like ridiculousness in all of it, right? Like the dude crossing the street and all of these things. But if people are actually able to use it and be that immersed, there's going to be some fun, really cool things you can do with it, certain educational things. And then games, of course, in real life. And we were joking about, like, Pravi, you've seen like these demos people will post on Twitter of how like I can take a picture of us all standing together and give it to a million different AI tools and say, make us look like the people in The Simpsons, right? But there's now people who are doing that with video, because each frame of the video is essentially an image, and they're trying to render it in real time. So they're trying to render in real time us walking around looking like Simpsons characters, right? We're going to go into a future pretty soon where that dude who's walking around New York City can choose one of 20 places, right? I want to be in 1920s America. I want to be in Springfield, right? And everyone around them is going to look in real time like Simpsons. And then David Rankin could be wearing his helmet system, right? And he could say, I want to be in Miami with Pravi, right? And New York could look like Miami to him or something, right? And you're both in the same place. You're both living in different realities, and it could be pretty fun and ridiculous.
But you know how Simpsons is famous for predicting the future?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a scene that's going through. Telegram actually has stories now. So I just sent you that. This is the viral story going around on Telegram about the Simpsons and Vision Pro. I put it on your Twitter DM because I can't. But
you keep switching between Twitter DMs.
Yeah, because I have a PC and I have an iPhone. They're not connected, so I don't have.
Well, are you forwarding that to me as well? I need to see this.
I'm going to put it on the screen, but I'll share it with you afterwards.
Get on the.
I got to open Telegram for this. I don't use Telegram very often. Hold on, let's see if I can.
I wonder if it'll play then if you don't have Telegram.
Oh, I'm not logged in on my computer. It's not going to play the thing for now. I'll do it. We'll have to show it another time.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah.
We're still got the Prius video going.
Yeah. So this thing was I kind of felt like if you say it's a $48 million car, you got to have some bling to it, right? So we did all these things. I don't have the actual whole.
Is it the 48? So tell me why it's a $48 million car, because it was bought with Bitcoin when Bitcoin was like,
Yeah,
was
when
very little,
Bitcoin.
right?
Yeah, I believe it was 4,000 Bitcoin when it was. So you see there, at some point I put on the Bitcoin Zoro outfit, but I don't put the headset on, so I want to be you know because it is at a temple. I didn't want to put the whole. Yeah, there it is, right there. That's part of the Bitcoin Zoro YouTube outfit. But so basically, yeah, it was I think it was 4,000 Bitcoin. That's Art Rosenbaum right there. He's the manager of the Bitcoin Priest. He's one of the OGs in the Bitcoin space. Like, if anyone knows Satoshi personally, but maybe doesn't know exactly who it is, someone actually met him, would be Art. He's been in the Miami scene since the beginning. And he actually
Why would you think anyone in Miami would have met Satoshi?
yeah, because
Because the first conferences were in Miami, or do you believe
well,
there's some kind of Miami Satoshi connection?
yeah, it's just rumors. I mean, part of it comes from Vitalik of all people too, because Vitalik used to hang out here. When he launched, especially the era when he launched Ethereum down here. There are some things that he said. I mean, not sure. I'm not sure if Vitalik.
Well, but I think they launched Ethereum down there because of the Bitcoin conference, like the first Bitcoin conference, basically, or the first big Bitcoin conference was based in Miami.
Yeah, I think they did it at the. There used to be multiple Bitcoin conferences down here, so he did it not the one that's in Tennessee, not the Bitcoin Magazine conference. They did it at the North American Bitcoin conference.
The North American Bitcoin.
Yeah, they're skipping that this year, but
so that Prius was bought originally with Bitcoin is why the value is
48 million. But then it got crashed. So it was like basically totaled for a while, and so they rebuilt it. But they kept like the original stickers, the license plate says Bitcoin for Maryland plates. So they kept the things that are important, and then they added the autograph signatures. So this is before it was autographed, before the auction, but now the roof. We got a lot of videos of the different celebrities, celebrities in our industry.
So was this thing like a pizza? Alon?
Well, when you say is this thing like the pizza, I think this thing was actually bought in honest for this, right? Because I think nobody believes that the pizza was really just a pizza, right? It was more of a delivery service for some weed or something that somebody wanted, right? And then they called it the Bitcoin pizza because nobody wanted to talk about that on CNN or something. But this, is just a car, and not just a car. And think about this. Imagine if you're one of those early people in Bitcoin, you're playing around with it, you're learning about it, you're basically a huge computer nerd, and you discover this thing called Bitcoin, and all of a sudden it's worth enough to swap for a car.
So
that would be mind blowing. It's like your hobby, your fun side thing that you're nerding about while you're sitting in your cubicle at work, all of a sudden could buy you a car. Like, that's pretty epic, right? And that's part of like the learning curve trajectory of this industry, right? We went from being the biggest, craziest nerd bombers to being told we were nut jobs, and we're still told we're nut jobs all the time. But you can't argue the fact that like, this is a real Prius. I owned a Prius. I didn't buy it with Bitcoin. I had to work at a cubicle and make money to buy my Prius.
Is this where the meme comes from that you're short Bitcoin based off your car?
Saturday.
Like, if your car is worth more than what you have in Bitcoin, you're probably short Bitcoin.
You know what though? I always hated I understand the meme value of certain things, right? And all that, but I always hate the like Lambo vibe thing that goes along with a new industry and making money and stuff like that. Because I think anybody who actually truly loves Bitcoin is the biggest freaking idiot in the world if they swap it to buy a Lambo. I think you're a moron. Yeah. Like, straight up, you're an idiot. Unless somehow you were like owning a Lambo is your biggest life goal, crazy thing. But it's always short-lived. Like, you don't hear those people are gone out of the industry. They weren't here for the right reasons to begin with. And
what's funny you say that? Like, the last week we had a meetup in Vegas. I'm not going to tell you the name because it might be embarrassing based upon what you just preluded with. But
Now I'm talking trash. Although I will
bought the
go
first
back
Bitcoin
and make fun of
Lambo.
myself in a second. So I'll bring it back. Don't worry. But go ahead.
Yeah, he
Don't
bought the
blame me.
first Bitcoin Lambo in Miami. Then he moved to Vegas. He's a Vegas full-time resident now, and I believe the thing is, he lived life, right? He actually I think he was going through a divorce at the time. So obviously you buy a Lambo after your divorce, and then he bought a pretty cool like video game arcade in Vegas, and it became like the so like I mean even
okay, so here's the thing.
Well, that's it sounds like that guy has some FU money. So
look, I say it. I don't like the meme behind it because I don't like the way everybody goes crypto bros, things like that. But everyone should buy whatever they want and they should have fun. And there's an argument to be made when somebody actually does become some kind of millionaire or billionaire person and then they hold on to it, right? And then they don't actually do anything. Then they regret not having experiences. But also, I think the flip side of what I just said is memes are super important in the industry too. And people coming in for the wrong reasons it's not a bad thing either. Because at the end of the day, how many people come for speculative purposes, come in, get their butts kicked or not, right? Maybe they make some money, maybe they don't, whatever. They come in for the wrong reasons, but then they start doing what we were talking about earlier. They have some Bitcoin, right? They have some ETH, they have some crypto, even they have some Litecoin or I shouldn't say Litecoin in a negative way. So they got some XRP, right? And I think XRP is stupid, but they got it. And now they're paying attention, right? And now they're learning. And even though they got in for the wrong reasons, right? They heard Blink 182 on the radio, thought it was cool. I think it's stupid, but now their favorite band is also Bad Religion because they decided to dig deeper because
they watch Alon,
right? That's a cool thing. So I think that there's a lot of people who go, oh, I'm going to get into crypto. Free money is going to fall from the sky. Yeah, and 90% of those people are gone very quickly because it's not that easy. And then the 10% who stick around might have got in for the wrong reasons, but it can change their life, change the world, right?
Well, so, in all fairness,
be against it.
In all fairness, like a good Rolex watch, if you buy the right car, it can hold its value, right? The question is it going to hold its value against Bitcoin? Probably not.
But like a good Rolex watch, every day you become less relevant.
Yeah, I mean that's.
Hey, are you wearing a watch, Pravi?
Yeah, I got my Rolex.
Okay, see there we go. Here's the thing: we all have the time on our phone, right? We all have the time on a million devices around. It's weird, unless it's a piece of jewelry, right? And then okay. See here you go.
And even my Ape watch is still a Timex.
Still a Timex.
So I think though it's important that like. I think like,
I really regretted not claiming the Timex, but I also in the moment was talking trash, and now in hindsight I want one. See, so it's easy.
You might still be able to get one. I don't know. You might check.
I think that you can't order it with your Ape on it, right? There was like a limited time.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay, then maybe. Yeah, sorry, you missed out.
So Alon, is that situation? Have you changed since you've been hanging out with Rankin a lot, or is it have you always been this way?
No, Rankin is probably more frugal than me, but he likes the collectible things that go along with the Ape and stuff like that, and so do I. I think we're doing it because we love it, not because I don't think Rankin bought that to resell it ever.
Well, no, dude, it's the same idea. Like we were at the hotel, and this lady, they had this awesome horse, right? And my wife's a horse fan, and this lady had this pin, and the
woman who worked at the hotel.
Lady who worked at the hotel, and I would have bought the pin, right, just because it was cool, and she offered to give it to me, and I was just shocked, but it was so cool to me because the only way you get the damn pin is if you work at this hotel, and I was like, to me, that's a collectible, and I'm like, that is so cool. I just like to collect things that other people can't easily have, right? I mean, it's like a watch.
It's why you fell in love with comic books when you were a kid and stuff like that. Oh, yeah. Kevin, by the way, Kevin just texted. He apologized. He missed my stuff because he is in a blackout, so he has no power. So
Rankin took me to an anime convention. He took me and my my little niece and nephew. We were out in his hometown, Sacramento, for
no way.
An Indian wedding. So we actually had the horses and everything, the bride. Anyway, so it was a big Indian wedding.
That's cool.
and then Rankin brought his kids out also. So and that was actually pretty cool because he spent all that time like showing my little niece and nephew magic tricks, and then we got to lift up a broadsword at the. He knew a lot of stuff about. I mean, you know how
Your kids
Rankin
are super into anime. Well, Rankin's kids are into anime and stuff like that, so it's pretty radical.
Yeah, and then he took us on a walking tour of like downtown historic Sacramento, and like, I mean, can you imagine like Rankin, pointing out interesting little things in your town, like the things that he picks up on, right, are pretty like like the like little backstory about like the governor's mansion and stuff. Like you can pick up any thread you want.
That was an idea I had for Super World back in the day, and I think now it's going to be even more readily available because you can do the AR stuff like that. Like what I was thinking is I own a few spots next to where I live in Super World, right? Like I always share pictures from the hiking trails, like that's like a few like close to my house that I love to go to, right? And I was telling the guys at Super World, you could do this with celebrities and things like that. But you also just anyone who's super passionate about any certain area, I could take you on a tour or like take you on a hike in those hills. And it's like, it could be a half-hour walk or it could be 3 hours. Every time we go, I'll have different stories from my childhood or things or whatever from those hills and things that have gone on and whatever that would make it really, really funny and unique. But imagine if you got to any point anywhere and it's like, oh, there's 4 tours of this area by local people. One of them might be George Clooney for some kind of marketing purposes, but one of them could just be David Rankin, dude from Sacramento who has stories that has really high ratings and everyone's like, ooh, I want to hear a story. Maybe it's literally some dude who's making up stories, right? Like completely made up, but it would be so fun to walk through a city with some random person who's telling you pretend stories about things that never happened, but is really entertaining, right? Like it's almost like a movie, but you're in real time. You could go on the walk with that person, right? You just go start now, boom. And then you just follow them like a walking tour.
Yeah,
And
man, like the other Homer, not Homer Simpson, but Homer, the Greek dude. I want David to sing my tales.
You don't want me to sing unless it's with Kermit the Frog voice.
Yeah, but I think though it's the framing too. Like the person's telling.
Hey, everyone watching, Pravi is also a secondary first level proof, right? New theme song for this show coming. David Rankin and a Kermit the Frog voice.
Oh no. We probably have to get permission by Disney. That might be hard to get.
Parody. I'll make sure it's parody. No permission.
Yeah,
it's not going to be that song. It'll be our own song. Okay. I'll work on that.
Yeah. So I sent you the link for the William Shatner's NFTs when we did his interview. So I think if David Rank, so basically, remember when William Shatner went to space with Jeff Bezos, people thought he was like body snatched or replaced by whatever aliens or whatever up there because he came back a different person. Like everyone has that overview effect of when you first see space or Earth from space, but this was like dramatic. Like remember, like William Shatner used to be a little bit like crotchety type thing on Twitter, but he came back very grounded. So we did this interview with him right before he went to space, talking about Bitcoin and how blockchain converts your consciousness. And when we did this interview, he was already 90. I think he's 94 now, 93 now. Wow. But we did this like right before we sold out his NFTs in 3 minutes. But yeah, we talked about like how all the spiritual aspects of crypto and even how like how we basically what the notion of money even means to like the quantum nature of money too. So yeah, I think the framing itself is important. Yeah. So I think David Rankin, when you frame stuff, it was like you put us in the mindset to answer in a very positive way. So
love it. Just shout out, by the way, to Zuda this morning was actually you guys know Zuda from our previous live streams and things. He actually engaged William Shatner on Twitter. Like literally this morning, he was sending me texts and he was getting tens of thousands of views arguing with William Shatner on Twitter about all sorts of things. So shout out to
Zuda. Yeah, you're right, dude. He's not shy about like there were some other people like William Shatner, like around the same time he was doing his NFTs. he was like flaming people who were shilling the project, trying to like get cred, I guess, by dropping his name and stuff, and just out of the
He
blue, just
engages.
like dropping on random people on
Think
Twitter.
about that. He's in his 90s and he's arguing with random dudes on Twitter about historical events and stuff.
I hope that's me. I hope
Yeah.
that's me someday.
So maybe there's a
will be.
half-life to those alien abduction scenarios too. He's gotten back a little bit crotchety, a little back
Maybe
to
by the time I'm in my
Larry
90s,
David
I'll
again.
finally join TikTok and start arguing with people. Guys, we actually we're running out of time. We got to hop to another call, but we got to, we've got to do a hang session. And Pravi, actually tell everyone what the heck the Blockchain Center is before we go and how they can be a part of it, just because you do so many cool things with it. But then we should reconvene next week and talk about, we promised we're going to start having people on. I think we're going to start having people from different companies on each week and stuff. But first, before we leave, and to everyone, you can connect with us on dgb.vc. So come join us there. blockchaincenter.com. But tell us what that is, Pravi.
Yeah, so it's founded by Nick Spanos of Banking on Bitcoin fame, the Netflix movie. So he started the world's first in-person Bitcoin exchange on Wall Street, and he's kind of like the OG Bitcoiner, a little bit like going in it for the libertarian philosophy. Yeah. So he's very much that type of person. So he attracts those type of personalities around him as well. So you
guys do a lot of things, like, if I remember correctly, you guys were doing a lot of things around the different Bitcoin conferences like that were happening in Miami, like getting companies to accept crypto and stuff like that, like doing educational events for people who are non-crypto folks and things like that, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah. So in New York, there's a physical center. Miami, we had one. We're still trying to get it back. We lost it during COVID. And there's physical centers in other cities as well. So he basically, selects a team in different cities to represent him and represent the philosophy and that co-working space, the event center, and then incubating projects like any other type of center like that as well. But part of it is just having the street cred, or basically the, knowing you're a little bit like you're doing it for the right reasons, because there's tons of people who have, like you're saying, have money in this world, right? But not everyone has to, show it right all the time. So he's really good at picking out the people. And then there's a half-life to it as well. Some people.
Yeah, people will come and go when it's hypey, and
yeah.
Who the people who are around for the long haul are once you've been through those cycles a few times. And I don't mean to talk trash, even though I am. Everyone should do whatever the heck they want with their money and live their own lives, as long as they're not affecting others negatively. But I think if you're so deep 1,000,000% believe in the future of this stuff, then you would want to hold as much of it as possible for as long as possible. But to some people, it might just be a tiny little fraction of their thing to make them happy. So go for it, right? Do whatever the hell you want. As long as it doesn't hurt me or my friends and family, I'm good. So anyway, guys, it was great to see you. Any other last minute shills before we hang up?
Yeah, I want to hear David Rankin's story, because he started the Bitcoin Center in Sacramento.
Yeah, you know what? Next
No,
week.
I didn't start it. I kind of.
You and some crew were running the Sacramento Bitcoin meetup and all that. We should do that again. We kind of the first time we restarted, but now that we've got a little groove going, we'll have a guest next week again also, and it won't be such a last minute guest. But always you can count on guys like Kevin, Pravi, Rankin. Used to be like that. Now he's just permanent. And a bunch of our other friends hopping in randomly when we're live, but we'll plan more things in advance. And Pravi, update us whenever there's something big going on that you want us to talk about and send people to. You're a family member of this crew here, so thank you for joining us, and see everyone soon. Peace, guys.
Peace. Have a great day.